It's such a pleasure to be here with you today. And yeah, as said, I'm heading up the enterprise solutions business in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and I've been doing that for a while. So I've been in this business for almost 11 years, and maybe it's good to start with yeah, a little bit of honesty here. I can truly say it's hard to keep up, right? If you see what all the developments are out there, all the announcements, all the technology breakthroughs, it's going super fast. I hope you recognize that. And so I'm saying, if you feel a little bit overwhelmed, it's okay, it's okay. So in this session, what I wanted to do is to take a step back and look at the fact, why do we think AI is important? What are the components of sovereign AI? But also look a bit at the fantastic examples that we already have in Europe and across the world, and see if we can learn of some of these case studies. And so let me pull up here the vision that we have at NVIDIA for sovereign AI and the components. But to be honest, it feels as well that we have been talking about all of this for quite a while. So why do we need to spend energy in this? Why are some countries very advanced in this, and should others really care to keep up? Well, Europe faces many big challenges. We have industries that have challenges to compete on a global level. We see productivity stalling in some places. There's pressure on public sector services. I'm sure you recognize some of that. And then also items like energy management. How do you do that in a smart way? And yeah, as a European myself, I think it's fair to say that sometimes we can take a little bit of a negative approach. Right? Or maybe let's say it in a more positive way. We can be a little bit cautious. So in this section, I thought, let's look at those same challenges and then also focus a bit on the solutions and the tools that we can bring in place to address exactly those challenges. And for that, I think it's also good to pull up a little bit from our history, because today we live in geopolitical, very complex times. And I think sovereignty becomes a center topic for all of us, also here in technology. And at NVIDIA, we strongly believe that every country needs to own the production of their own intelligence. What are you going to do with your data? What are you going to do with your cultural values? You want to have that in your country, be master of your destination there. And that's not unlike the leadership position that we have seen in Europe before. For example, during the Industrial Revolution, where technological advancements resulted in critical infrastructure being available. So think of steam engines, think of the ability to produce electricity, to have manufacturing capabilities. So critical infrastructure. And as we move into this new Industrial Revolution around AI, we see a new form of critical infrastructure. The new factory is that of an AI factory. And it's not coals and steam, but it's actually electricity going in. It's your data going in. And then we produce tokens, the measures of intelligence that come out. And then they can benefit science, healthcare, manufacturing, and unlocking trillions of economic opportunity. So that AI factory is quite crucial, as we have seen in the past. Now let's zoom in a little bit more on that AI factory, and I thought this is a nice diagram to show you what a factory in this shape really looks like. Because the AI challenge itself is much bigger than just having a GPU or a chip. And as you can see, this is, by the way, a Blackwell-based AI factory. And one chip is indeed a Blackwell GPU, but it requires much more chips. You see over 7 in there. There's a Grace CPU that we make. There's a DPU in there. And even nowadays, one could say networking becomes one of the most critical components in such an AI factory. That all comes together in orchestration. And then it's a well-known secret that at NVIDIA, 80% of our engineers are working on the software side of things. How can you tap in the performance into the power of such an AI factory? And that's the software stack that you see on top. Those are libraries that will end up in applications that others develop. Those are SDKs that will make the lives of developers and scientists more easy when they want to do research into quantum compute or life sciences, or when they want to build robotics or autonomous vehicles, or when you want to create for your country a large language model, all those software toolkits are available. Now, all of that together forms an AI factory. So key point with this here, an AI factory is not about a chip, it's not about a GPU, it's not about a computer, not even a server or a cluster. All of this is happening right now at data center scale. So it's important to realize it's a real intelligence factory. Now, since we are discussing European matters and we are already a little bit on the topic of factories, I thought, let's zoom in on manufacturing itself. Because the next big wave that we see around AI is the one about physical AI, which means exactly that, right? AI coming into a physical space in the shape and form of robots. By the way, yesterday I experienced that here in Estonia when I ordered some fruit through Bolt, which arrived in one of our Jetson-powered robots. So that's in production here, pretty cool. But we will see much more of these use cases. And why? Because we have these AI factories that can create these very complex models that can drive robots. Then on the other side, you will see that the target platforms inside of these robots, whether it's a delivery robot, an industrial robot, a humanoid, or a self-driving car, a big robot with wheels, basically, they are much more capable, and they are also super energy efficient, so that makes it work. But we had one part that was missing. The part that was missing was simulation, because it turns out, we just learned about how humans learn, turns out that AIs also need to keep learning. And the AI can best be trained and can best learn from corner cases in a simulated environment, in virtual reality, so to say. And so these three things are coming together at a very high fidelity. So when the training happens, it's very realistic. And that will accelerate the adoption of physical AI. And what you see here on the screen is exactly what one of those virtual worlds will look like. This is a digital twin of a BMW factory. And so here in the heart of Germany, we're working on this, making this virtual environment in which robots can learn and later will be deployed inside of a factory. And just think about it, it's not just a robot in there, but basically the entire factory is becoming a robot. So very exciting opportunity in Europe. Now let me circle back a little bit into the concept of the AI factory to wrap this up. So electricity, your data going inside, intelligence coming out. And there are many benefits, of course, of choosing that approach and where you can make a very strong contribution. Obviously, in economic growth, we have seen brilliant startups coming out of Europe. The other one could be also a contribution to the public sector itself, right? Come with more compelling, more value-added services in that domain. But also in the middle there, science coming from Europe. Just think about it, right? We always had important instruments of science, whether it's a microscope or a telescope or later on a particle accelerator. Well, the new instrument of science is an AI factory. So critical to have those in place in the right spot. Now, normally we would like to talk a little bit about what can we do more? Is Europe behind or not? But actually, when I was preparing for this, I thought, if I look at what has been happening over the last 12 months, we can be very proud about the initiatives in Europe. So I just wanted to give you an overview of that. We had several telcos in European countries step up and bring AI factories in place. And so you see a number up here, and they play a critical role. So Fastweb, to just pick one, they started in Italy. They put a very advanced AI factory in place. And immediately work started on Italian LLMs. That together with an already existing very good academic ecosystem is sparking all kinds of new initiatives. And we see fantastic new startup initiatives coming from Italy, including the new unicorns. And then there are also the neo-clouds, the European sovereign cloud service providers who are fully on the AI architecture. They are AI first, and they bring these AI factories across the whole region in place. from a Beyond in Poland, where we will have the pleasure to inaugurate the system next week. And Beyond is actually then taking the lead to bring the latest generation of Blackwell AI-powered factories into the country, enabling the whole ecosystem there. But also in the other countries, so if we look at what is happening in the UK, 2 weeks ago we had fantastic announcements over there with multi-billion investments, but also Germany and France, all multi-billion investments coming from sovereign European cloud service providers there. Now, is it all about new initiatives? No, because we in Europe also have a long-standing track record of a great scientific computing when it comes to the supercomputing centers that are in place. And they are true leaders in this domain for many years already on the HPC side, and now also fully embracing the AI journey in front of them. But there's something else that we can be extremely proud of in Europe when it comes to the supercomputing centers. Because not only do they bring extremely high performance capable systems in place, but they are amongst the world's most energy efficient systems. So this is benchmark called the Green 500 out there. And the #1 and #2 most energy efficient supercomputers in the world are based in Europe. A couple more a little bit further down the list. And so the #1 in the world is in Germany at the Jülich Institute. So Europe leading the way, showing that you can do an AI factory, and at the same time you can do it in an energy efficient way, showing all of us the path forward on how to architect this in a smart way. And then along those lines, there's of course the great initiative coming out of the European Union with a massive investment to make AI factories happen across the region, including 5 scheduled gigafactories. So very, very, very promising initiative. Now, having said all of this, a couple of years ago, if you were a startup, a developer, a scientist, it will be very hard to find the right AI infrastructure to do your work. And so now there's very good news, where we see that the efforts in investments in sovereign AI, they are doubling, but the actually available amount of AI compute is growing with 10x just over 2 years, right? So very, very good news. Now, and of course, we are very keen to team up with everyone that is leveraging this kind of approach. So I have some examples for you. And here on the screen, you see our founder and CEO, Jensen Huang, together with the Chancellor of Germany. And this was at the launch earlier this year of the world's first industrial AI cloud. And I mentioned when we looked at that virtual factory before that there's a great opportunity. So exactly for that reason, we put this industrial AI cloud in place in the heart of Europe, in the heart of manufacturing, to work on those cases of design, simulation, digital twins, robotics, and this will power exactly that. I have some more examples. This is, it feels like very long ago, but this is just 11 months from today, where we switched on the Gavian AI factory in Denmark. We see here the King of Denmark, and in the middle the CEO of DKI, Nadja Carlsten. And this system is already deliver an incredible contribution to simulation of quantum computing, work in life sciences, and also making a contribution to climate change. So great initiative underway there, thanks to the investment of the Novo Nordisk Foundation and the Danish Investment Fund. Now, I mentioned UK before, we talked a bit about Germany, but also in France is a very strong program in play. So this is a 109 billion investment plan for 2030, and we wanted to make a contribution to that as well. So at the Vivatech Technology Conference in June, we announced that we are partnering up very closely with Mistral in a multi-billion investment project to stimulate that national program. Now, the last example that I wanted to bring to you is a little bit further away, with an emphasis on also the cultural aspect of a sovereign AI program. And this is what we have done in India with Reliance. And a similar AI factory was brought in place, but immediately the work started on a foundational model for India, covering the many, many languages that we have inside of the country. So making an immediate contribution to capturing the culture over there. And also there, it sparks the ecosystem because we see many other great initiatives. And India is one of the leaders as well of bringing AI into the judicial system and helping to take care of the tremendous workload that we see over there. Okay, and with a topic like this, it's you can talk for a long time. If only one thing, if you think it's going very fast, if you feel it's very overwhelming, that's right, you're not the only one. So keep the faith, make sure that you accelerate, don't fall behind. And we have great European AI initiatives in place. If you need help, if you need ideas, if you need blueprints, we're very keen to team up with you and make a contribution to the ecosystem. With that, thank you so much.